makeshift mannequin, so Sunflare Shaman, for example, that got him a 2-for-1 would then potentially be able to get him a 4-for-1.
Wow.
Or 4-for-2, rather. He'll need a second source of black for that to come up, but he's got time right now. Life total stand at 14-12 with Finkel in the lead. Pascoli's considering his combat step. I'm sorry, 13-12. I was an English major. Math is my game.
Yeah, I hear you. I think now might be the time to have a little sneak peek at Antonino De Rosa's prediction. Let's have a look at what we've got down here. His predictions in the final, I'll give him that. Wow. All right. Unlike Pierre Canali's prediction, sorry, no Guillaume Waffa in the final for him.
Pascoli came up with a swamp there. He's a mana away from being able to makeshift mannequin, though that might not be that relevant just yet.
Skirmisher. Big skirmisher.
Yep.
And now he feels the Muldrifter can come in.
Yep. The 3-3.
9. Your turn.
Passes the turn after dropping his opponent down to 9. Pascoli draws a card, pulls the pen out of his mouth. I don't know if that's a tell. Got the 4th land, so mana troubles for Pascoli look to be about over. Finkel, on the other hand, has got 6 lands, kind of a bit of a flood. Looks like he's got 3 cards in his hand.
And again, this is turning out to be a slightly unusual match in that you've got a bunch of guys on the left-hand side of your screen as you look for the Italian, but they're not particularly attacking or directly threatening. On the right-hand side, the allegedly aggressive deck is broadly building up quite an army of defense, essentially, while he's kind of nibbling away with this 2-2 flyer. Pascali's at 9, Finkel at 13. We're clearly well into the mid, maybe even the late game, and yet the life totals are both high, and there's no real sense that either player has really got an edge here.
No, Finkel has to consider this combat step carefully, simply because the Pathblazer can get very large if he were to not block. All the creatures he has in play, all the creatures Pascoli has in play, are elementals. That could pump it up as much as 2, 4, 6, 8, making it a 10-2, and then, of course, Sunflare Shaman could activate targeting Jon Finkel for at least as much damage as elementals are in play that he would sacrifice, plus whatever's in the graveyard. So Jon can't afford to not block here without having a trick. He's going to put 2 creatures in front of the Pathblazer. Interesting choice. Could potentially send both of them to the graveyard. The Pathblazer also gets first strike when you sack elementals to it, so that will actually probably see it still being alive at the end of this combat step.
Right.
Bob?
Pascali looks and says, yep, my banneret's done its job for now, thank you, so it goes to the bin. Now he thinks again.
Almost looked like he was going to bin that Soulbright Flamekin as well.
Absolutely. It was a kind of half move, wasn't it? It's the sort of thing like in chess, you'd say, you moved it. But the touch rule, absolutely fine. You can move your deck chairs about on the Titanic anytime you like.
Yep, he is going to go ahead and move, quote-unquote, all in on that 2-2.
Wait. Those are all your
Oh, wait, says John.
Come on.
Those aren't words you want to hear.
I have to.
Yes, thank you for doing your best. Now it's my turn. Last guy I heard say that was at Worlds when Patrick Chapin against Gabriel Nassif, after that astonishing Game 4, got to Game 5 and went, and now it's my turn. And there is John with
Coordinated Barrage.
Coordinated Barrage.
What a great play. And such a heads-up pro play is letting his opponent think that he's going to get a potential trade 2 worse creatures for 2 good creatures that John's on the board, and instead just decimates his own board advantage. Again, a game that seemed like it might be slipping into Jon Finkel's grip, back into it.
Yeah, and that screen you're looking at there, you can just see the gaping hole on Pascoli's side of the board where all those nice monsters used to be.
Yep. Monster draw there with Distant Melody. Potentially drawing 3 cards off that.
I would like to retool, please, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't mind.
Yep.
And it's hard to imagine what Pascali does about that. I guess maybe
Sunflare,
he
the,
decides to make it as small as possible.
Yep. Plus get rid of one of the more aggressive creatures on the board. That's a good play, but even John is a little bit happy to see that, simply because that Sunflare Shaman, as we saw in one of the Italian players' earlier matches, can potentially cause a win out of nowhere. So not having that on the board is actually pretty helpful, because he no longer has to count how many elementals are in the graveyard. John doesn't hesitate, brings them all in. Firebelly Changeling could trade with the 2/2 Skirmisher or the Kithkin Harbinger, barring no shenanigans from John Finkel. He's going to block the Skirmisher, looks like, and pump twice.
Okay, sure.
That's going to get 3 damage in. Yep. John's going to trade the Skirmisher for the Firebelly Changeling. Seems like a good trade for him. Leaves him with a Kithkin Harbinger and a Muldrifter, well ahead on cards and with something to play after combat.
Yeah,
Wisenson.
Senzer.
Senzer,
Yep.
excuse me, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So we're back with Finkel, and Pascali has removal, but he's got 3 monsters to face.
Yep.
And here they come.
I think so.
He's got effects
And
before
he's saying,
combat.
yeah, I think I'd like to do something here. And the something is...
Violet Pile, if I had to guess. Yep.
All right. And John says, I'm going to have...
Oh, wow.
Oh, and
yeah,
scoop up.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether you can hear on our effects microphones, but out in the hall there is a lot of excitement there as Johnny Magic evens it up at 1 game apiece.
I noticed the Italian players weren't clapping for that one.
Well, can you blame them? Bless them. All right, so we're running out of time clearly because we've got at best 3 more duels of this Pro Tour. So let's give you some of the big names just so you don't miss out on where they finished. Olivier Ruel finished in 67th place. He annihilated his brother Antoine Ruel by 2 places, who finished 69th. Moving further down, Takuya Osama of Japan was 78th. Into the 80s, you find Carlos Romão of Brazil, and the US's Sam Stein, a top 8er from Valencia. He was in 85th. German guy Jan Rus, 88th. Antoine Menard, 91st. Rafael Gennari, Rafael, one of the players from the winning Team World Championships. Peter Dunn of England was inside the top 100. Well done, God Save the Queen, and all that. 101st, Cynic Kim, we're delighted to meet him, as I said earlier. Down into the 110s, you find Viraj Fanchacharyan from Thailand in 112th. Yes, I practiced that one. 113th, Sebastian Thaler, former Rookie of the Year. Tina Rus was here, another top 8, first-time top 8 at his first Pro Tour in Valencia. He finished 118th. And you know a bit about Stan van der Velden, kind of a Belgian guy living in Netherlands now.
Netherlands player living in Belgium, yeah.
Oh, other way around, okay.
Yep, back on tour. Nervous guy in the first day of competition. His name wasn't on the invite list. Had to get that fixed up. Came rushing up and saying, "Where's Scott Larrabee? I got to talk to him."
Yeah, you don't like that at all. 135th, Fried Mulders. In 136th, a name from my home country to watch out for, or at least half of it, Matteo Orsini Jones. He is one part of a brother partnership. Marco Orsini Jones did very well at Grand Prix Florence. Matteo has already qualified at a PTQ for Hollywood, so he will be back again with more experience. Managed a 3-3 record, so you know that's the kind of thing that when you start your Pro Tour career, you're quite happy with, and you hope to come back another day and maybe go one better. And 4-2 would have seen him in to another draft. As we follow down, 150th. Makihito Mahara, Chris Lackman was 154th. And then as we head further down, Tsuyoshi Fujita, 173rd, Rovan Hazevak, 177, and some big names at 178, 179, and 180, Bas Postema of the Netherlands, Shouti Yasuoka from Japan, and Tiago Chan of Portugal, just above Antonio De Rosa in 182nd place. All right, well, it looks like we're just about ready to rock and roll with Game 3. No one will win the Pro Tour this game. Yep. And no one will like mulliganing